So my name's Jeff Sailing. I'm one of the founders at Startup NV, and it's pitch day for 100K. And I love pitch day every other Wednesday. It's always a great day to pitch. So today we're going to hear from Shivam from Mettcover, and congratulations. On average, we screen 10, 15, 20 companies for every person that makes it here to pitch day. We put you through a little bit of a grind, but we hope to think it's worth it. Not only to be able to pitch to us, but to get some exposure for your company to the few hundred people that are probably going to see it between today and the recorded sessions that they'll watch on our YouTube channel. Startup NV is Nevada's statewide nonprofit startup accelerator and incubator. We operate five nonprofit programs for entrepreneurs or founders, if you prefer, and four for-profit investment funds. Our nonprofit is supported by government grants, corporate sponsors in the short term, and over the long term by accelerator companies who pledge a tiny little bit of their stock to our nonprofit, and to investors who donate 5% of the profits from their investments, also called a carry, to our nonprofit as well. So we run pitch day for 100K every other Wednesday, where companies pitch for the Q&A that you're going to hear after you're done pitching, and entry into our accelerator program. And that comes with an investment from our pre-seed fund, Fund NV, and that's added to by our investor syndicate. And the total between those has averaged over the past 2.5 years about $191,000 for that total investment, 50,000 of it coming from Fund NV and the rest coming from our syndicate. Now, that all gets matched by Nevada's SSBCI program. So even though it's like, okay, Fund NV is investing 50K, but these investments actually add up to quite a bit of money, about 200K from us and another 200K from the SSBCI programs. So it's a close to a $500,000 investment in many instances. We've made 29 transactions since 2021. There's 2 in process right now. Those 29 transactions have ranged from $50,000 to $1.8 million. So there's some real money to be invested here. Now for the legal disclaimer. The founders pitching today are pitching for investment from Venture Capital Fund and our accredited investor syndicate. Now we invite the whole community to come out and attend for educational purposes, kind of like watching Shark Tank, but hopefully a little nicer. The educational component is critical to our economic development mission in Nevada. So once again, the pitches today are not a general solicitation for investment. For information on entrepreneur and accredited investor programs, please visit startupnv.org. End of disclaimer. So our nonprofit work in this community would not be possible without financial help from grants and sponsors from the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, the Nevada Governor's Office of Economic Development, called GOED, and the EDA, also KPMG. So thanks to those organizations for their support. Next announcement is our Incubate Vegas incubator program starts on the 20th of September. The deadline to apply to be part of the program is the 13th. So if you are a founder and you're kind of at an idea stage company, you don't have to be far along. This is probably well before you're going to raise capital from anybody. So this is kind of getting your stuff together. The program's called Incubate Vegas. You can find it on our website at Startup NV. Then the deadline to apply, it's easy to apply, is the 13th. So please get those applications in. There have been a couple of news stories in the Vegas press about it, so you might see it there as well. And then finally, Founder University. Those classes are held every 2 weeks. So there's always one pending. If you want to know what's up next, just check out the website at startupnv.org, look for Founder University, and you'll know what the next lesson is. Founder University is aimed at all founders of all different configurations, from, hey, I'm getting my act together and I need to get my act together to pitch and ask for money, to I've already raised money and now I'm trying to learn my lessons of what happens next. So Founder University is a pretty wide-ranging program. So check it out and get signed up if you can. So first up today is Shivam from Mettcover. So Shivam, why don't you start sharing your slides?
Okay. So I'm Shivam, the COO and co-founder at Mettcover Global. First of all, I'd like to thank Startup Nevada for giving us this opportunity to present in front of you. So we are Mettcover Global. We are established in 2022 with our headquarters in Las Vegas and our R&D and manufacturing facility in India. We are mainly into thermal insulated, cold chain packaging products. So let me tell you the biggest problem of cold supply chain, which we also term as a cold chain. Do you know that over 35 billion worth of pharmaceutical products are wasted each year? Not only that, 20% of global harvest is lost annually as well. Chemicals, food, and perishable industries faces the same kind of issues. There is a reason with that, because there are certain products in pharmaceuticals and perishable goods that need to maintain a specific temperature profile during local, national, and international transportation. The unbroken supply chain that facilitates the movement is called the cold chain. There is an excessive wastage of this kind of products in cold chain due to the temperature excursion, because the maximum waste comes from the shipments that need to maintain the temperature profile of 2 to 8 degrees, 15 to 25, and below 40 degrees. Now, let me tell you about the existing solutions. There are two types of solutions the industry uses to cater this kind of shipments. One is the active solution, the second is the passive solutions. When we talk about the active solutions, there are a lot of challenges with that. Active solutions are very, very expensive and are not available to the medium and micro industries. That they also increase the total cost of ownership with this kind of shipments. Not only that, active insulation has a lot of energy consumptions, and therefore they leave a large carbon footprint, and they do not even support the net zero mandate. So to overcome this kind of issues, Mettcover introduced the passive insulations to either to totally replace the active solutions or to add as a support to an active solutions problem. We did not only develop the cost-effective solutions, but also economic solution as well. Our solution starts from as minimum as $12 and goes up to $200, $300. Also, all of our solutions are sustainable. We 100% supports net zero mandate. Our solutions are recyclable and also reusable. What was the reason to come up with this kind of solutions? 75% of the cold chain cargo moves in this temperature range. I'd like to address that we do not only cater pharmaceuticals or perishables, but we also cater agriculture, electronic, chemicals, and biologics. So what's the solution? We have developed 16 different grades of material. We have developed insulation products with different material range that can cater specific temperature profiles. I will give you the two use cases that how our solution can be used. Our solutions are validated by NABL labs. They have 97% of reflectivity. They are water resistant. They are also temper and dust resistant. Now let me give you the case studies of active solution as well as passive solutions. Imagine that you are having a temperature control shipment from Vegas to LA. If you want to use an active solution, it's going to cost you $5,000 per trip if you are using a reefer container, which is also called as an active solution. Here, we can completely replace it with a passive solution. You just need a truck, an open truck that costs $800 from Vegas to LA for 4 to 5 hours of trip, and you need to use our solutions between $15 to $25. Your total cost of ownership is going to be $1,500 maximum. And while you are spending $5,000 on active insulation, even for this kind of short trips, you can save $3,500 on that. We not only protect your cargo for 4 to 6 hours in an open environment, but also from 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 15, and 15 to 20 hours as well, with our different quality of materials. Let me introduce you to our product line. We have a thermal pallet cover. This is our foremost and most important product. This is also our one of the highest selling products. It is available in 16 material grades. We have categorized our products into different freights. We have AKE liners and ULD covers for air freights. We have drum covers for chemical and paints. We have container liners for ocean shipments. We have cooler bags for vaccines as well as food delivery products. We have thermal envelopes and pouches for vaccines, for injections, for chocolates. We have box liners for e-commerce and food industries. These are also used with the dry ice. And we have recently introduced our FDA approved data loggers on the basis of the request of our customers. Let me tell you the best thing about our products. Some of the products can completely replace the active solutions for a few hours, and our solution does not use any energy. Now let's get back to the business model. Our 70% of the sales comes from the pharma company, 25% comes from the perishables, and 5% comes from the chemicals and paints. We have derived this kind of sales from 3 different channels. One is direct selling. So how the direct selling happens? Our sales executives goes to the pharma company, they test, they validate the product, and we have the direct selling to the pharma companies. Or else the customer comes to our website and they directly send us a query, we test, we validate the product, all of our products are validated, and then we do the direct sellings. 25% of the sales comes from the distribution network. We have the vast distribution network in more than 25 countries. We have 15% sales coming from the consultants. Here, there is a catch that we do not have any liability on the consultants because they are on the pure commission basis. And we also have consultants in several parts of the world. Now, we are happy and glad to say that we have more than 85% of the customer retention rate. Here, how we can predict this kind of rate? That within last year, the customers who have ordered, more than 85% of the customers have reordered. Basically, they have ordered monthly, quarterly, within 6 months, or we have the 1 year open purchase order. Now, let me explain you about the geographical areas of Mettcover. As I mentioned that we are headquartered in Vegas. We have our consultant networks in Europe, the UK, Middle East, India, and the United States. We have distribution network in GCC and MENA countries. Basically, one of our distributors is managing 18 countries. We do not have just a distribution network, but also our warehouse in Saudi Arabia. We have our warehouse and distribution network in France. We have a distribution network in Germany. We have distribution network in Benelux. We are also, our next warehouse is going to be in Netherlands. We have distribution network in Romania, in India, the United States. Also, we have our warehouse in the East Coast in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have our distribution network in Saudi Arabia and Indonesia. As I mentioned that our manufacturing is 100% done in India. We have 3 regional offices. One we have in the United States, one in India, and the other in Melbourne, Australia. Now let me come to the market size. Our total available market is $21 billion. Our serviceable available market is $10.4 billion, which is just global passive insulation market. And our serviceable obtainable market is $4.2 billion, but we are aiming to catch $1 billion in next 2 to 3 years. The reason is because of our vast distribution network and the sales coming from them. Now let me talk to you about the competition. We have 2 main competitors. One is Silverskin and one is Tyvek. How we are different than them? They have only 5 material grades, where we have 16 plus material grades to serve different temperature profiles. They do not provide any custom solutions. They have specific 2 sizes. One is Euro size pallet and one is the US size pallet. While we have more than 120 plus sizes because we are the manufacturers and we can custom any size for our customers. We have cold chain consulting services, which our competitors doesn't have. So imagine that if there is a product that needs to maintain minus 60 degrees, but we cannot cater that. So we also provide the consulting service for free to our customers, and we align them to the right suppliers to get the product that they want. In terms of pricing, we are very economic and cost effective as compared to our competitors, but we also provide the best quality. How we can provide it with the best quality and economic pricing? Because we control the cost. We have the backward integration of material, and the material is also manufactured in our own facility. So that's the reason that we can control the cost and provide the best quality. Now, what is the advantages of Mettcover Global? We are GMP certified, we are ISO certified, we are FDA certified, and we are also CE certified. Within 1 year, we were able to expand ourselves in 50,000 square feet manufacturing facility. We also have the environmental chamber. What do you mean by environmental chamber? It's a climate chamber that we can use for our customers. Imagine there is a pharma company that have introduced new product in the United States and they want to export it to France. So how the cold chain works in that? So basically we ask them for the route, we ask them for the ambient temperature, we ask them for the temperature profile, and we test and validate for them for free. And then we advise that which is the best material to go. Either they need to use the premium material or the economic material. And then we send them the validation report and help them choose the right material range. We have also, as I mentioned, that we have the shortest lead time as well. Our production time is as less as 1 day and goes maximum to 2 days. We can claim ourselves as one of the largest manufacturers in the world with a production capacity of 2,500 covers a day. Now let me get back to the sales. Within 1 year, we are able to do $1 million in sales from June 22 to June 2023. I haven't mentioned the figures for July, but if I talk to you about the figures in July we have done more than $160,000 in sales. Let me introduce you to our team. Vinayak Thakur, he is the CEO and co-founder at Mettcover Global. He has extensive experience of working in the pharma companies like Zydus, Sanofi, GSK, and FMCG company like Nestle. He knows in and out of the pharma company, and that's also one of the reasons that we are able to lead sales in the pharma company. Other than that, he is also the first generation entrepreneur, and he has a lot of experience in manufacturing and production. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm a UC Berkeley alumni. I have worked in distribution and partnership in more than 15 countries. I have also led a few of the NASA projects, and I am the experienced entrepreneur and business developer.
Shiva, you're out of time, so can you go to your ask slide and then we'll get started with questions?
Sure. So this is our last slide that we would like to raise $1 million at the valuation of $15 million. We would like to allocate 30% in the recruitment. We would like to have more sales executives in the different regions where we are a distribution network. 30% we would like to spend in research and development, where we would like to come up with 2 more products, pallet shippers and cool boxes, in next 4 months. These are the products that are requested by our customers. Each of our customers present can give us the revenue between $250,000 to $500,000.
Thank you so much for coming in, and I am going to give back the stage to Jeff there.
So thanks to both of our presenters today for presenting, and thanks also to our participants and viewers. And just a couple of program notes as we wrap up here. So and in investors, we have 4 opportunities for experienced and novice accredited investors alike. Our pre-seed fund, Fund NV, invest in companies just like the ones you saw today. So you can get engaged with us in our second Fund NV fund, Fund NV2. We're raising it now. It'll be starting investing next year. It's $10,000 minimum to be involved in that fund, and you get to invest in across 20 companies out of that fund. We have our annual conference fund. That's a hands-on teaching fund, and a little bit of a social network. So we have a lot of people that are new to town. They want to get engaged in the startup community. They also want to learn how to be an investor in startups. So check out Angel NV. It's $5,000 to put into a fund that ultimately invests in 1 or 2 companies at the end of the program. So that's going to get started in January of next year. We have an investor syndicate. So once you invested with us in one of these things that I'm talking about, you're in our syndicate. You get to make extra investments in single company deals, sometimes for as little as $1,500 after somebody else has invested. So check that out. And then the big daddy, the 1864 fund, it's $10 million seed fund. It's sort of a mutual fund for 30 or 40 seed stage companies. So if you're interested in that, just check us out. Check it all out at startupinv.org. You can find out lots more. And there's a place there you can register your interest to find out more information. And thanks again to the founders who pitched today and all who listened in. So we'll see you back here again in 2 weeks to hear from 2 more awesome startups from Nevada. Until then, take care of yourself. And if you can, somebody else too. We'll see you in 2 weeks.